Well, after spending a while in the desert doing sunset photos and that sort of thing, I decided it was time to get out the drones and get some drone footage of the areas around my two campsites I'd been at recently outside of Quartzsite. The first section of this footage is kind of my typical stuff, the cinematic scenery footage, just from an aerial view, which is really cool. It gives you a whole different perspective. The second part is where I was having a little bit of fun playing around, but there were some challenges that came with that, so more about that later. So as I started flying over this wash, it occurred to me that it would be kind of fun to fly it late. It brought to mind like the Star Wars Canyon over in Death Valley. I thought it'd be fun to run it with the drone. Now it's not quite as bad probably as Star Wars Canyon, but still there's obstacles on both sides. I thought, if I went through there low, that would be kind of fun. What I didn't really count on, or what I discounted the significance of, was at the time I was flying a drone that's kind of AI first, but you can manually control. Unfortunately, it's got all kinds of obstacle avoidance and other crazy stuff in it that you simply cannot override. It's a little bit like these new cars where you have like Teslas that can do full self-driving with an occasional glitch, but then you have all these other cars these days have all these safety features like collision avoidance and pedestrian avoidance and lane change controls and all kinds of things where the computer thinks it knows better than you do based on some sensors and how it's programmed what's going on and what you should and should not do. Even with their input, and of course that's only as good as the sensors, it's only as good as the programming that goes into it. And we're in the early days of this, so maybe they'll eventually get good enough where they're better than the vast majority of drivers. But these days, there's plenty of times when they don't work right. Just was talking the other day to somebody who was talking about their experiences driving a newer Suburban that's got all this stuff in it. And sometimes it's just weird, the stuff it does or will not let you do, even though what you're trying to do is perfectly safe. The computer has decided, based on some input from sensors and the way it's programmed, that it's not safe and no, you can't change lanes right now, or you need to slow down more than you really do right now, whatever the case may be. And the truth is that there's lots of bad drivers out there, and in the cases of those people, these tools, even imperfect, may be a big improvement over the way they drive on a normal day. But if you're a good driver, a careful driver, you're competent and skilled, a lot of times these computers are just going to be confused. Well, it's like that with this AI drone. It thinks it's too close to things that it's not too close to. It does crazy things. It'll just stop going or refuse to move forward when you're telling it to move forward. It'll move to the side when you're telling it to go straight. And then sometimes the really fun thing is when it starts doing something randomly and tries to crash into something, even though you were perfectly safe to start with, and it just started doing its own thing and flew away. So I don't trust it, frankly. I mean, there's a lot of scenarios. I guess. Well, first of all, there's a lot of times it doesn't let me do what I want to do when I'm perfectly safe doing it. But beyond that, anything that's designed to be AI first, when it gets a bee in its bonnet, so to speak, it can just take off and fly away. And there are stories of that happening where the thing gets confused and boom, it's leaving because it's confused about where it's supposed to be or where it's supposed to be going. So beyond that, 90+% of the skills or features it does for automation you can do by yourself. I can do them by myself with some practice, and my results are better. It's not as smooth as it should be when it's doing different maneuvers and everything. So that being said, the obstacle avoidance is really good. So if you're not comfortable flying a drone, it can help keep you out of trouble. But this thing is kind of over the top, and sometimes it's cool and it's impressive what it does on one hand, but on the other hand, sometimes it's just annoying. So this is the wash that I was flying over when I thought, hey, I should fly this like it's Star Wars Canyon. This is gonna be fun. Alright, here we go. Or do we? It just did not want to get started. And now it's driving itself to the side, away from a perceived obstacle and into another one. Okay, maybe we can get going now. Alright, now let's fly over this log that's laying in the wash. Or not. We'll just stop. Alright, now we're going again. Maybe it'll work this time. We can get down through this wash. This wash is like 12 feet wide, so it's really not that tight. Wait a minute. What is happening right now? We're supposed to be going straight forward. Now it drove itself back out into the middle of the wash. Okay, this is interesting. Will we be able to get going again? Okay, here we go. Now maybe it's going to work this time. All right, well, that gives you an idea. Hope you enjoyed the scenery. Hope you get a kick out of the drone refusing to go where it was told to do and going places I did not tell it to go. That was really unnerving every time it did that, because I was afraid it was going to crash itself because it was just took over, and it's just, it's like a sci-fi movie where it just has a mind of its own and does what it wants to do, regardless of input from the user. So, and it's not like it's trying to steer, but it lets you override it. It just refuses to go where it doesn't think it wants to go. Anyway, I am in town right now. Hopefully there's not too much traffic noise, but I have to be at the RTR a lot for work, so I did not want to be commuting in and out, so I'm in town right now. Once I'm done with this, I will probably be going back out into the desert. So when I go back to the campsite, I will definitely run that again with the other drone. And I think that'll be a lot more fun. And, hopefully we can get that done before I leave for the year. It's already in the middle of January. I usually leave here by mid-February, 1st of March at the latest. So getting down to a month or a month plus, and I'll be heading out of here. But we'll hopefully get back to that one more time and hopefully get some more other desert views from the drone while I'm still here. So if you guys liked the desert views, let me know in the comments, and that'll motivate me to get back out and shoot some more desert views with the drone. Thanks for joining this video, everybody. We'll catch you in the next one.